How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and this is my 2015 Porsche 918 Spyder. And on a good day, it would be worth more than $2 million. But it had a really, really bad day. This car was in a terrible fuel fire in Canada, then left to rot untouched for over 10 years before I bought it. And everyone, including Porsche themselves, said that this car was impossible to fix. But I'm not so sure. Because even though it looks like this, I think this 918 Spyder is worth rebuilding. And to prove it, I'm going to strip away as much damage as I can to see what's underneath, what's savable, and what, if anything, I can do to rebuild this 7-figure hybrid hypercar on a budget. At least, that's the plan. All right, everyone, first things first, we have the body here from Canada. We finally have everything. 100% of the 918 I bought is in my shop, and this has taken the better part of 4 to 6 months. This has been crazy, but I'm really, really glad that this is all here. And yes, it is missing half of it. If you saw the last episode, we got some bad news about the other half, but that's okay because we're gonna get a lot of good news about this half, and that's what I'm telling myself. So I need to see what is wrong with this car other than the obvious. How we're gonna do that is we're gonna take off every single burnt piece, and that includes the interior, that includes this guy. I thought carbon fiber was supposed to be all hard and strong. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. The first part of that is gonna be taking it off of this pallet. I don't remember it looking like that when we initially put the car on. Yeah, I definitely don't remember that. I don't know if there's any damage underneath the car. Honestly, it doesn't really matter because the car's here, we'll deal with any damage, but we gotta get it off that pallet, and here we go. As broken as this wooden pallet looks, it certainly did its job of protecting the 918 Spyder's incredibly expensive monocoque chassis. But now that the job is done, there's no choice but to rip the pallet apart stud by stud. And with some moderately sketchy work with a pallet jack, hydraulic jack, and shop dad jack, we managed to get the 918 rolling, and with only half the car's weight to contend with, pushing it to the workshop next door should have been easy. There's no real good way. Okay. All right, so I got the soft side. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Bye. You ever just take your Porsche 918 for a walk? Me neither. There we go. We're gonna turn this around because that's the only way it's gonna go. See, it wants to go forward, or it just wants to spin around in circles. Here we go. Oh, this is not good. We're just gonna do 360s in the parking lot. Oh, tell you what, this is way harder when it doesn't actually have real wheels. Oh, much better. And I say this thing is light. That's not true. Now this is what I've been waiting for quite a long time. This door is sort of sealed shut because everything back here, oh my goodness, look at that. Everything was absolutely annihilated by the fire. This is what happens to carbon fiber, ladies and gentlemen, after a lot of heat. All the epoxy just kind of melts away and you still have the carbon fiber strands, which in theory should be as strong as when it left the factory, but I don't think that's true. So I'm gonna try to see where the latch is. I think it's somewhere in this congealed mess, and then I am going to just pry on this, and then hopefully the door opens. And if the door opens, then this is gonna be the coolest wall art I have ever seen. I think this is the glass. Yep, that's glass. Something tells me the window regulator's not exactly as good as it once was. Ooh, I think we got somewhere right away. Tell you what, this is really, really satisfying. Here's what I think of paint to sample, Porsche. Jack brought me this. Thank you. Am I doing this right? Good enough for a pandemic, good enough for this. If this opens, I am gonna have a baby. This is the most complicated latch I've ever seen in my life. Ah, I see the problem. It's because everything's melted. I think. Haha! Look at that. That was easy. Wow. Yikes. Now I understand that it can be intimidating to work on a car that's this expensive because if you mess something up, it's a dent in your bank account that you can't buff out. But since the damage was so extensive, that was actually a huge relief for me because I knew I couldn't possibly make it any worse. But just to give you guys an idea of how insane the Porsche 918 Spyder market is, here's what it's been doing for the past few years based on AutoTempest's new price trend search feature. With prices topping $3 million for pristine examples, me buying a cheap 918 that needs work is a no-brainer, much like using AutoTempest to find your next car, because it allows you to search nationwide across every major car listing site in one easy search. You can use AutoTempest to research price trends for any make and model, not just hypercars like mine, and filter by anything you want: transmission, body style, trim, and you can see right away what direction prices are headed, so you know when the best time is to buy your next car. And with every major car listing site in one search, you can be sure that whether you're window shopping for your dream car or looking for your next daily driver, AutoTempest is the best totally free car buying and research platform ever. Go check it out in the link in the video description or hit the QR code on screen right now. But even though this car was only getting more expensive, I really admired Porsche's straightforward engineering, which allowed me to remove the door by removing one plug and 3 simple bolts. And I had my fingers crossed that removing the door card was just as simple. It is pretty crazy. Right here is total carnage. You can still see some of the carbon fiber, but then the door panel, other than this damage right here, it's actually pretty solid. Rodent was definitely living here. Cool, dope. There might be like a dead rat or something that comes out of here. Let's see if this pops off. It does. Haha. I think I found more bolts. Haha. And now, just like Dude Perfect, first time. There we go. Oh, wow. It's perfect back here. That's not true. Looks like the door panel has done the fusion dance with the door. Wow. Take a look at that. That's super usable. This all, actually, everything in the front of this still looks usable, including the speaker. So that's good. I'm going to make sure we keep that. Who knows how much the module is for a 918 Spyder. Although it does say Volkswagen on it. I'm going to say something pretty crazy. That motor, it's a little crispy, but I feel like that motor probably is still good. I have amended my statement. Now, the only thing that's good here, and I'm not going to be using the wiring because the wiring looks a little past it, but this module and the door speaker, and maybe even some of these rubbers if I just get a bare door skin. But there you go. 918 door. This is the easiest part. Just pull, because all this stuff is broken anyway. Yep. Nothing here looks cheap. But cheap or not, the carbon fiber wheel wells, which were in perfect shape, came off quickly. Then I removed the fender, another piece that was undamaged from the fire, which I was very grateful for because they're worth around $10,000 per side. The rocker panel wasn't as lucky, so I ripped that off the body and took the small win before moving on to something a bit more crispy. All right, everyone, we're switching gears a little bit here because this is something I've wanted to do since I got the car. This is one of the rear wheels, and as you can see, it has seen some better days. And I wanted to take the wheel off of the hub assembly because behind this wheel, behind this melted wheel, is actually a brake rotor, a brake caliper, and a hub. Things that may be still usable. I don't know how usable they are on a scale of 1 to 10, probably not very, but I want to make sure what's usable and what isn't because everything in this car is very, very expensive. Just off camera, this thing that I'm hitting right here, that is the subframe that I can't use, and that's the subframe that I need for this build to finish it, and that subframe from Porsche cost $155,000. $155,000. But here's the thing, I don't actually have $155,000, so I'm gonna need your help. Now, I'm not asking for money or anything, I'm selling stuff. So I am selling this parody Porsche t-shirt. It's Porsche. It's Porsche because that's me. I'm Porsche. If you guys hit the link in the video description below to my Bunker branding page, then you'll see this, you'll see a hoodie, there's a keychain, a sticker, and every dollar from that sale will go directly to this build, but I'll sweeten the pot. So if you order a shirt or a hoodie, the first 1,000 orders, 1,000 orders will get a piece of the car, whether it's a piece of carbon fiber or something small, and it's gonna be numbered and signed by me. My hand is gonna hurt a lot because I'm gonna be spending probably 2 days just packing everything and signing everything. But it gets better than that, because when I take off this wheel, hopefully if I can take off this wheel, then I will send this Porsche 918 wheel to someone who buys this shirt or hoodie or keychain or sticker. Now this is a limited release. I will have this up for maybe a few weeks and then that's it. But I wanted to make sure that my viewers, the diehard viewers amongst you, get a piece of this very, very cool car. Now, I do have to take this wheel off, and it's probably gonna be a little bit harder than I think. So I think this is reverse thread. Yeah, okay. So I gotta take this guy off. The cap comes off. That's great. I have my handy dandy impact gun here. If I just hold it on here for about 6 to 8 weeks, it should come off. 3, 2, 1, go. It's loud. Now I knew this was probably gonna happen, so I'm gonna apply some more heat. Certainly had enough heat already, but a little more couldn't hurt. So what I'm doing here is I'm heating up the center lock so that expands away from the wheel. Center lock isn't usable, but I wonder if the hub or the brake assembly is still usable. Really just holding out hope here. My gun ran out of juice. Dope. Try this one more time. Different gun. Let's hope this works. That is way louder. Didn't do anything. So I may have made a little bit of a boo-boo. I thought that this was the passenger side. I think this is the driver's side. And I don't think it's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. I think it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I may have been making this really, really tight. So I'm gonna try to go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Cool. All right, so this was not reverse thread, but the thing that goes inside was. Also, this is like $1,000. Easy does it. Everything here is very expensive. There we are. Okay, cool. All right, that looks usable to me. Yeah. I think that's okay. It does sound like I'm joking around, but I'm only like 25.79% joking. This may still be okay. Dousing the barbecued carbon ceramic brake rotor in brake cleaner did nothing other than rid me of a can of brake cleaner and kill off a few brain cells I wasn't using. So I got to work disassembling what was left of the rear hub. Even though the control arm bolts had loosened up because of the fire's incredible heat, they still needed some serious persuasion to move because of oxidation and the burnt axle grease that was everywhere. Removing the carbon ceramic rotor should have been straightforward, but the melted parking brake assembly made that nearly impossible. So I got out my calibrated rubber persuasion tool and gently prized it off the hub. There we go. Ah, just how Porsche would have done it. Yeah, that was easy. Okay, everyone, welcome to my science project. This is the other rear hub assembly, and we need to take this apart, but you can notice that this is not as bad as the first one, but it's still kind of bad, because just take a look at this. That used to be a wiring harness, and you have char damage here. The axle boot is completely ripped, but I think the brake and the assembly here is all okay, so I'm not gonna have to remove it with extreme prejudice. The thing is, I can't get the brake rotor off. Like, it's just kind of stuck on there because the emergency brake or the parking brake assembly is actually a drum like you'd find in like a regular car. And the drum is inside right here and it's locked. Now, I could manually unlock it, but I feel like there's a better way to do it. And I think we're gonna see if this electronic parking brake assembly actually works. So what I have is a motorcycle battery, and that's connected to a power probe. And what the power probe does is it just gives 12 volts to basically whatever I want. So I'm gonna connect this to one of the pins. Now this was the original connector here, and I can see that one side had some thick wires and the other side has some thick wires. I'm willing to bet that this is gonna be our power and ground. Don't know which one's which because honestly, all the insulation has melted away. So we're just gonna take a quick guess and then we're gonna see if maybe we can get this parking brake assembly to disengage. Oh! Oh! You hear that? I think it is disengaged and I can just take this right off. That was easy. Look at this. $10,000 brake rotor. Whoops. $9,000 brake rotor. With this hub being 10 times cleaner and less melty than the last one, I removed the parking brake assembly, which was held on with 2 clips and 2 springs. Then I pulled the axle out, and as dirty as this looks, this is actually the way the Porsche factory does it. And with everything taken apart, I could finally do an inventory of what I needed to rebuild the back end of this car, with the hopes that I could still repair all of these rare hypercar components on a budget. So welcome to the messiest part of disassembly, at least up until now. This is the rear hubs, and now they are completely taken apart. This one still has a bearing race in it, but we can take that out. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that in there because honestly, if you look in here, the bearing race looks totally okay. All the grease looks fine. This one does not look okay because there was a lot of heat that went in here, and I'm gonna have to replace the bearings. Now, the good news is that all of this, well, most of this can be savable, like the big parts here, the big pieces, even the axles. And the axles, they look a little bit worse for wear, but if you take a look, if I just clean this up and I rebuild them, they have like little needle bearings. If I put new needle bearings in and then new boots and clean all this up, they should be okay to put back in the car. However, if I were to buy this from Porsche, they only sell this as a complete assembly, meaning that I can't get any of the bearings or any of that stuff separate. And that is, I mean, this is really expensive. It's something like 10 grand, but I'm gonna reuse this. And I noticed that on here it says made in Germany, but also it has a part number there that I can look up, and hopefully I can find that part. And it's a bearing. It might be more expensive because it's a 918, but it shouldn't be super expensive. But one thing I am the most excited about is that this brake rotor, this carbon ceramic brake rotor, was actually okay. All I did was attack it with a Scotch-Brite pad and a lot of elbow grease and soap and water, and this looks really good. Doesn't have any cracks, there's no crazing. Now I do have to do a bit of measuring just to make sure that it's all within round, but it looks very flat, and it actually looks better than this, which is what we just took out of the other side. I haven't cleaned this up yet, but I wager that this will probably clean up just as well as this. If I have to replace this brake disc, it is $10,000 just for that disc. However, if I were to get the brake disc used, maybe on eBay or something, it's the same brake disc that they use for the 911 GT3, the Porsche Panamera, and I believe the Porsche Cayenne Turbo S. These are really, really big brake discs. They're 390 millimeters in the back and 410 millimeters in the front, something like 16 inches. And these are, I mean, it's basically like a large pizza. So you can see why they cost $10,000. And they're also super duper lightweight. Now, I put all the hardware right here. We're probably gonna get new hardware, but the hardware keeps the aluminum rotor hat onto the carbon ceramic rotor. And I think we can reuse these, but these are cheap enough, so I'm gonna get new ones. That's the more burnt hub, that's the less burnt hub. You can see that this one has colors, and this one, the colors are a little past it. So I think that we're gonna be able to reuse this. Maybe I'll powder coat these or do something, but I don't know. I feel like this is totally usable if we put in new bearings and make sure everything lines up the way it should. The brake calipers, though, I'm not so sure about, because this is the brake caliper that came on one side. You can still see the acid green color, and this will buff off, I think, but that is way past buffing. And I think since that is aluminum, maybe that has work hardened, and I wouldn't be able to trust that. But the good part is this brake caliper is exactly the same as what you'd find on a 911 or anything that has these big brakes. So they made a ton of these brake calipers, and that is not a big deal. Also, what's not a big deal is this. These are the brake shoes for the parking brake. One side, totally fine. All the hardware, totally fine. Even this, I mean, that's a little bit worse for wear, but it still works, as I demonstrated just a little while ago. But on the other side, these are in pretty poor shape. But the good thing is I can replace both sides for about $200, so that's not too bad. All in all, I think this is a massive win, because we took everything apart and all we have to do is clean it and put it back together again. But that's only when the car's ready for it, and the car is not currently ready for it. We still have a lot of work to do. Oh boy. I cleaned the carbon fiber tub to get the rest of the soot off, and then focused on the next part that I had to disassemble to check for damage: the garnet red interior. All right, this is looking much, much more clean, and I am completely horizontal. I'm gonna take this seat out because it is a mess down here, but the mechanism that makes the seat move forward and back, that is completely stuck solid because of the fire retardant that was in the interior. So it has rusted basically everything. But one thing I did find was this. We got Belmont cigarettes, and these are definitely from Canada. I'm not gonna say that this was caused by cigarettes, because I don't think it was, but don't smoke. It's not good for you. So what I'm gonna do is, now that I can actually get into the driver's seat, my clothes are gonna get ruined, but that's okay. I can get into this seat. Wow, it's a little tight. Okay. Oh, look at that. So one thing that I can do is pull the mechanism and then pull my weight. When with my weight, it'll... See, it usually works. Oh, there we go. Ha ha! Bam! All it did was kind of hurt me a little, but that's okay. Oh, look at that. Like a glove. And now I believe I can get to these bolts and I can take the seat out. And just like a lot of these hypercars, the seats are completely manual. There is a power adjustment for up and down, but yep, easy as can be. Okay, cool. Now I gotta change my shirt and pants. It should come as no surprise that the seats in the Porsche 918 Spyder are made of carbon fiber to save weight. And at $8,000 per seat, they're a bit pricey, but because Porsche used these same seats in every lightweight sports car they've made in the last 10 years, finding a new seat and bolting it in with the same 4 bolts I'm undoing here shouldn't be difficult at all. And with the seat gone, I vacuumed the charred debris and cleaned up the inside of the tub, so my friend and carbon fiber repair expert, Joey the Frame Doctor, could tell me if my hypercar's frame was actually worth saving. All right, Joey, what do you think? What do you think about my new project here?
Well, I really thought it was worse.
See, that's good. See, that's a good thing, because this is, in my mind, really bad.
It is really bad. Like really around where this mount and this mount right now is kind of a problem. I mean, again, the scientific way of tapping, I mean, it's really pretty dead. All this is dead. When you get down to, you come here, dead, gets better, and then it sounds the same all the way through.
Yeah, right there, it just gets really soft.
Yeah. I mean, underneath, the bottom of the tub looks really fine.
Yeah, which is interesting because that's where the high voltage battery was, right here. Like that's where the battery sits, and the battery is totally fine. Still had voltage in it. This stuff, which is the air oil separator, the PCV system,
right?
That is, I mean, that's made of plastic, and that's still there. It's singed.
Yeah,
obviously.
I was really, I'm really baffled by that too. I saw like all these hoses are still good. Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely fried in there.
Yeah, I'll replace them, but like it's, they're not vaporized.
I mean, that's pretty dead. Mm-hmm. You can hear that solid, more solid sound. You can also feel it, like wherever it's bumpy. Yeah. That's all the resin starting to pop out. Okay. It's everywhere. We've already lived dangerously through 2 others.
That's right. This is not our first rodeo.
So this really worries me here. Okay. Where this mount is. Yeah. How many horsepower? This thing's like 1,000 horsepower, isn't it? Something crazy. It's a. Let's just assume it's a lot. Yeah, and that one's actually moving. What does that mean? That means that all has to come out, and it has to be put back exactly in the same spot. And you got, look, uni going this way. You got uni going up and down. That's why I'd love to just study all this.
So when you say uni, what does that mean?
So unidirectional. So all these fibers in this layer are horizontal. Mm-hmm. And then the next layer, all the fibers are vertical. Mm-hmm. And then it depending on what their laminate schedule is. And I'm kind of starting to wonder if this is built like, we found out that the McLaren was RTM, resin transfer molding. Okay. So they basically fill the mold with dry product, and then they inject the resin. But I really think that the floor is okay, because that's like, it's foam down there. So I really think that the bottom is good, and that mount, I can even see where the mount goes in now. That's actually doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, I can actually.
I like that you're convincing yourself of this.
Yeah, the more.
It's like, yeah, there's no problem at all. I was like, good, good. That's what I thought. That's what I thought when I looked at this.
Oh yeah.
This is why we get along, Joey. We're the same person. Game plan here. What I'll do is I'm going to take off all of this stuff. We'll remove these guys so you can get access to the back of this. Right. Maybe take off the seat here, because I haven't been able to take this seat out. It's just been kind of a pain in the butt.
I would say the more you can pull away for me to be able to check all this, I was really thought it was way worse.
Okay, good.
Way worse.
Good. So we are gonna, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to save this Porsche 918. And the operative word there is try. After showing Joey several more parts that made him question my sanity, it was high time to remove the rest of the interior, but not before answering a very important question. Okay, before we take out this seat right here, I'm really curious as to what actually works in this cabin. Now, if you guys remember in the first episode, we put 12 volts to the battery jump post in the front, and things started to light up. Now, not everything lit up and not everything worked. In fact, I didn't have any sort of life in the infotainment system here, and none of the steering wheel controls worked, and I honestly want to know what works and what doesn't. I can see from here that the fuse box has a lot of corrosion, probably because of the fire retardant. So I think if I replace some of those fuses and clean up some of those connections, then put 12 volts to it and make sure none of the wires are touching, I think we can really troubleshoot this car's electrical system, at least the front half. I don't want the airbag to deploy in my face because it's already melted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it out, and I think this is how you do it. It's actually really, really, really easy. 2 little tabs right here, I think. If I just break it. Nope. I said it was really easy, and now I'm not gonna do it. There we go. See, that was easy. And because this is Porsche, this is the same airbag that you'd get in any car they made from 2014 on. So I'm taking this A-pillar trim off because it needs to get recovered. And I believe these buttons actually all still work. If any of you are working on your Porsche 918 Spyders, let me know how you're doing. Yeah. Do you find it as enjoyable as I do? It's like they actually cared about how this car was put together. Now, I think I'm ready to change some fuses and see what lights up. Welcome to the interior footwell of a Porsche 918 Spyder. And as you can see, this looks really, really gross. I am going to just have some electrical parts cleaner and douse the entire thing in cleaner. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoop. And just for good measure, I have some brand new fuses here, and I'm just gonna replace each one by one. Isn't that gonna be exciting? Actually, instead of doing one fuse at a time, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a picture. And now I can take every single fuse out and replace it with a brand new one. Now I still might have to take out the fuse box and clean it or replace it or something, but I just want to do kind of path of least resistance. Get it? That's an electrical joke. And putting the new ones back is super easy. All I have to do is, and there we go. I might have missed one or two, it doesn't matter. I am going to put 12 volts to this car, and we're gonna see what turns on. Welcome to the underside of a Porsche 918 Spyder. Again, honestly, a nice place to be because everything is sort of laid out at least a lot better than the McLaren P1 is. But what's missing right here is the 12 volt battery. The battery actually sits in the middle of the car on the bottom. And guess what I have here? It's the battery. And it really doesn't weigh anything, even though this is about $3,000. Now, this battery was sitting for just as long as the car was sitting, about 10 years. And lithium batteries, if you know anything about lithium batteries, they don't like to sit for a long periods of time. I've tried to put some voltage into here, but it doesn't take it. But I think maybe, just maybe, it's because there's a sensor in here that allows the battery control module inside to know that it's in a car and it hasn't been stolen. So what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna install this battery and then try to put it on a trickle charger to see if the battery will actually do battery things and hold a charge. And if it doesn't, then I won't have any voltage in the best case scenario, and in the worst case scenario, I'll have an electrical fire. So let's find out which one I get. The reason why this battery is $3,000 is because number one, it's really, really lightweight, but number two, it's because it slots in here like a glove. And there's one sensor that gets plugged in right over here. And I just have some bolts to bolt this all up. So I'm gonna tighten this up and we'll see if it takes any juice. All right, I am off camera and I'm about to put a jump box onto the battery terminals up here in the front. So if you guys see anything, let me know, like right away. It could be kind of dangerous. Okay. All right. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Does everything work? Oh, wait. Whoa! You got navigation working? This all works. No way. Everything works.
That's where you wanna go.
Oh, that's awesome. So this car has 1,678 miles on it. One thing I want to find out is if there's anything in that glove box. Where's the button? Right here? No way, come on. Don't tell me this button doesn't work. Okay, well that button doesn't work. Maybe I forgot that fuse. To kill two birds with one stone, it makes sense to remove everything from the back of the tub, starting from the tub's integrated roll structure. This enclosure houses some speakers and the seat belts, which weren't exactly in the best condition. I then removed the passenger seat, which was thankfully all intact and had no carbon fiber damage, but the jury was still out on the tub and electrical components underneath it. Okay, look at this. This seems like it's a relay box or something electrical, but I started cleaning up down here and realized that this was the water line for the fire retardant. This is how much fire retardant they use, and you can see how corrosive it was to all the electrical components. This is actually worse than salt water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all these connectors off, and hopefully I can just clean this up, but I can just buy this because, I don't know if you can see this here, but it has a 991 part number, which means that it's a Porsche 911 part, even though it says 918 right there. So I'll be able to buy one of these probably pretty cheap on eBay. I don't even know what this is, but I can wager that that is not very happy. So, whew, it also smells real bad. Real bad. Now, my friend Sam Hard once told me that it's always better to try and repair something yourself because in the worst case, whatever you tried to fix is still broken, but you learned how it works. But the more elbow grease I used to clean this part, the more I learned that Sam's advice may not have applied to heavily corroded electronics. So we have some good news and some bad news. Start with the bad news first. This is the power distribution block, and I tried to clean it up as much as I could. We used some electrical parts cleaner and a variety of bristle brushes from nylon to bronze, and it did clean up a little bit, just a little bit, but there is still a lot of corrosion. And when I opened up whatever module this is, I tried to clean it up as much as I could, but there was a lot of corrosion on this side, and some of the components just fell off when I took it off. So this is no good. And realistically, I don't feel very confident putting this back in the car, even if we try to clean it up as much as possible. But the good news is that this is a 918 part, which costs about $521 if I got it brand new from Porsche. However, this is also a part from a Porsche Boxster, a car that they made thousands of, and I can find it on eBay for about 200 bucks, which is, I mean, it's not 50 bucks, but it's better than 500. So I'm gonna order a new one on eBay, I'm gonna throw this out, and then when that gets here, I should have a functioning electrical system, because I found out that the battery, the 12-volt battery that we installed earlier in the episode, that wasn't taking a charge. The charger did say that it was there and charging, but as soon as I took the battery charger off, it was dead. So I think this had a lot to do with it, the fact that this wasn't getting any sort of good signal, and this lug right here goes directly to the battery. So hopefully that should solve our problems, because I found out how much the battery costs. I said something like $3,000 before. That wasn't true. This 12-volt battery, the regular 12-volt battery, not the high voltage battery, it costs $13,000 for this car, and it only goes in the Porsche 918 Spyder, so I can't get another battery to just slot in there, so this battery needs to work. But there are still a few things that I want to test on the car electrically, like the window motor on the passenger side door. I still think that's good, and I gotta get in that glove box. I have to get in that glove box, because Who knows what's in there? I mean, it's been shut for 10 years. There might be an owner's manual in there. There may be some illegal things in there. Just because we don't have a power distribution block doesn't mean we can't get power to those components, because I have an idea. With the help of my friend Michael Elsea, we were hell-bent on finding out what was in that glove box. And it seemed the only way to get to it was to remove everything standing in our way, starting with the car's all-glass touchscreen center console, then the aluminum console surround itself. Now I have to admit, it was incredibly surreal to see these rare and expensive parts in a pile on my floor. But I knew that every bolt I removed was one step closer to a fire damage-free Porsche 918. You know what's nice? Not having a bald spot.
Do I have a bald spot now?
No.
I don't?
No.
Dude, look, I'm it's starting to catch up with me, man.
It's because you came here. You know, people think, I'm going bald because of male pattern baldness. It's actually because of stress, because I keep buying cars like this.
Yeah, and when you take apart a car, and I'm like, if I break something on this car, that's like a salary for me.
It's like a salary for me too. The center console, the infotainment center, that was $9,000 if it broke.
I think they stole this out of GM's book. So you want to see how this mounts? Should we show the people?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's bolts here, and long story short, the screen sits here. Mm-hmm. We could not figure it out.
Yeah.
And there's a threaded hole. You thread a bolt through here, right there, and it pushes on the back of the screen. There's a metal plate, and it pops it out.
Yeah.
That was scary.
That was very scary because the entire thing is glass, and you can't really pry it because the glass is going to crack. We figured it out. We didn't need any instruction manuals, but there was a pucker factor of about 15 out of 10.
Yeah. Show them the little metal plate on the back. That looked very GM-like.
Oh, yeah. So here is the radio. Be very careful. And the metal plate. And that's where we pushed. So, yeah. Whew. $9,000. Just put that down.
Okay. I think it's going to come out now. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is stressful. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Ah, okay, I did have that bolt. Oh.
Don't tell me it's not going to open.
It's like Christmas morning, maybe. All right, there's a plug for a light and a plug for a switch. I can't hear anything yet.
Yeah, there might not be anything in there, but there also could be many, many riches for generations to come.
Ooh, stock certificates from the 80s?
Yeah. That'll be in a car made in 2014. Okay, hold on. That's a...
We got a plug.
That's a plug for something.
That
oh,
is...
hold on. Look, right there. Pull. That's the pull tab.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
Pull it.
Okay.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Go.
3, 2. Oh my God! What? Why is this?
That is
That is a really hard.
Why is it? And how would we have ever found this?
I have no idea. That's impossible to get to.
There it goes. There it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you definitely want to dislocate 3 fingers when you do this.
Ow. Is that it?
Come on! This cannot be this hard.
This was any other car, I would just pry it open, but
What if we take? Can you take this? Yeah, there we go. All right, we're just gonna put that over there. We figure this out. Come on. Oh
my God.
Oh, there's stuff in there.
We got stuff.
There's stuff. Oh, dude, do you know what this is? Do you know what that is?
What is this?
I was looking for this. So this, when you take the roof, I'm so excited right now. When you take the roof off, this slots in right here. Boom! It's a little air, like it's an air brake thing.
Is it
It's specifically for air, so you don't get like air in your face, like wind in your face. This is so cool. I was gonna buy this, but now. So what?
Oh, and it's got little pull tabs.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. Hey, look.
That is awesome.
Can I glue this on the trunk lid of my Supra?
You absolutely cannot. We got some 10-year-old Ricola. It's still closed. I feel like this is fine. What's the expiration date? Is July 2015. We're gonna put this in the maybe pile.
Something mint and large was $180.
Yeah, so
Oh, a men's crew neck, V-neck?
yeah, somebody bought a shirt for $180. But it's 180 Canadian, so it's probably like 20 bucks US.
Insurance card?
Yeah, okay. So insurance card, we got, hold on, is this?
Wait, that's a title.
This is a title.
Oh my God. The title was in the glove box? You gotta be
This
kidding
is the
me.
title to the car.
Give me that.
Hold on, is this a title or like
That
a
looks like
registration?
a title. Dude, that's the title.
That is the title. What else we got?
We have a few things. This is Pfaff Porsche Pfaff Motors. Dude, this is so cool.
What is it? What is it?
Oh my God.
God.
You want to guess the retail price of this vehicle?
Oh, I want to know.
Dude, we have every option listed right here.
Okay, all right.
In Canada, there's a $100 air conditioning tax.
Uh-huh.
All right, do you want to guess the retail price of this vehicle?
Was it 857,000 Canadian dollars?
Dude, you're actually kind of close. Little hot. Oh, wait. Vehicle price, $870,000.
Oh, I was way off.
$676. But then there's a trade-in. He traded something in for this car.
Okay, what did he trade in?
I don't know, but it was worth almost $600,000. But is this
So it's
Canadian?
like a Honda Civic, like a really nice Honda Civic.
Dude, I cannot believe this was sitting in the glove box.
That is crazy.
The staple is rusted.
It is, yeah. and also, we have the title. Whoop.
Base vehicle MSRP, $845,000. You have the front axle lift system for $10,500.
Why would that be an option on a $1 million car? Like
It should come standard. Electric comfort heating, $6,000, bringing the total MSRP to $861,500. Would you like a Ride Green certified road hazard warranty? Because you are covered until 2015.
Oh no,
Is that black mold?
that's what. Can we? Yeah, probably. Can we change that 2015 to 2026?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
I know a guy. He used to wash checks in Miami.
Do you actually know a guy?
No, I just saw it in a movie.
Okay.
Since I already removed the driver's side door panel earlier in the video, taking out the 6 bolts that held on the lightly damaged passenger side panel was a walk in the park. So I was cautiously optimistic for what came next.
All right, this is one of my favorite times, and that is the moment of truth. So I don't actually know which wires control the motor that makes the window go up and down, but I wager that it's probably a thicker wire just because window motors have more current flowing through them. So there's 2 sets of thick wires. I think one of them goes to the door locks and the other one goes to the window motor. So I'm gonna try this one. Oh! Look at that! Look at that! That is awesome! So we know this all works. So this door, at least everything inside this door, should be okay. There's no damage at all. I might still replace this airbag just because, you know, the car was in a fire, but glass is totally fine. It's really dirty, but still totally fine. That is a big, big win. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that.
This is shocking that works, though.
No, this is gonna be shocking.
The 918 Spyder's interior and tub were almost completely gutted. And with the knowledge that everything in the interior was savable for the most part, it was time to send the body off to Joey the frame doctor for its carbon fiber repair. I removed the passenger's door, which only had one small spot of paint peeling from the fire, then went to work on removing the wheel well, followed by the fender and rocker panel, which uncovered various coolant tubes on the side of the car, all in great condition. Since I didn't want to risk any damage to anything else, I removed both headlights and then the front bumper, which came out with about a dozen bolts, and made me appreciate the simplicity of Porsche's design because this entire process of taking the front end apart took less than 30 minutes. Shop Dad Jack also managed to make a bolt-on rolling dolly for the back of the car, so we didn't have to rely on floor jacks to haul the tub around, and it was my job to put the front wheels on. All I had to do was remember how to do it.
All right, so this is righty tighty lefty loosey, I think. Unless I have an aneurysm in the next 3 minutes, I feel like we got this. Oh, there's no damage on this one. We can fix that. And that's two. All right, put it in gear. This is crazy. So now the 918 is headed to the frame doctor, Joey, so he can rip his hair out for several weeks. This is gonna take a little bit of time. And when I mean a little bit of time, I have no idea how long it's gonna take because honestly, this has never been done in the history of rebuilding Porsches, at least not like this. So we are pioneering here. So I have my Porsche 459 because it's not a 918, it's only half of one. The hood is strapped down, car is strapped down, it has a winch and lots of stuff. If this falls off, then, you know, maybe it was just fate. Maybe that's what it wanted to do this whole time. I have to do the thing where I go, that ain't going nowhere. I can't wait to see what this thing looks like, but I'm not gonna go on the journey with Jack. Jack's gonna go by himself because I have to do one more thing for this video, and that is tell you how much all of this cost. So this is a moment that you guys have probably been waiting for, and I have been dreading because I have to come to terms with my reckless spending. So this is the crispy 918 Spyder rebuild, and we're gonna go over a few of the big parts that I'm gonna need to finish this project. Now I'm gonna leave the purchase price for last, but the battery, the 12-volt battery that we put in the car, I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know if it can be rebuilt. I don't know if it's gonna take a charge, but that battery, if I were to buy it brand new, is $13,000. But then we have the electrical system. So the electrical system in the front half of the car is largely okay. The rear is completely toast, and I mean toast. So the harness for the engine costs $10,000. The harness for the rear end is $7,000. The harness for the bumper is about $1,000, and same for the harness for the spoiler. And the harness for the left door, because the left door got pretty badly burned, and that is another $2,000. Now that is expensive. It gets way worse than that. The rear carbon subframe, the thing that I really need to finish this project because it is literally half of the car. That, if I were to buy it brand new, and I think I'm gonna have to, is 155,000 American doll hairs. That is a lot of money. You can either buy a part for a car or you can buy a house. Take your pick. The rear wing hydraulic assembly is another $45,000, and then comes the bodywork, and that is the rear fenders, the bumper, everything that got burned, and I'm not including anything on the front end because we're gonna try to fix everything I have on the front end, and that is $130,000. I can probably find some of the bodywork used, so if you guys have any links or any leads on used bodywork, please let me know, because I'd rather go that route than have to pay all the crazy retail prices. But the suspension dampers, that is more reasonable at merely $8,000. All right, engine miscellaneous. Now, I did talk about what I'm gonna do to fix the engine, and we haven't fixed the engine just yet, but I think that when we get to the end of that process, we're gonna have an engine that is indistinguishable from a brand new one from the Porsche factory. But the miscellaneous parts like the intake manifold and gaskets and all that stuff adds up quick. So that is gonna be around $10,000. And I'm adding another miscellaneous charge just for all the nickel and dime stuff. You would not believe the brackets and the hoses and everything that adds up. So I'm gonna add another 40K on top of that. Now this certainly is a monumental price list, but I still have to add one more, and that is how much I paid for the car. Now, just so you guys can understand, a Porsche 918 Spyder with a bunch of miles on the used market can still fetch over $2 million. And if it's a low mileage example, or it's a custom color, or something interesting like that, it's more than $3 million. This car has just run away. The market has exploded in the last 6 months to a year. And I am really, really glad, because I got this car not for $3 million, not for $2 million, not for $1 million. I got this car for $145,000. That's right. I feel like I did pretty good. I mean, the car needs a lot of work. It needs more work than any project that I've ever had, but I feel like I made out really well, because at the end of this, let's say I buy everything retail, at the end of this, I'm gonna be around the $567,000 mark. So under $600,000, which is a ton of money, but under $600,000 for a car that now goes for $2 million. I feel like that is a really, really big win. So I'm gonna look forward to what Joey has to say when he gets all the carbon apart and he repairs it. I'm gonna look forward to the engine repair, and I'm gonna look forward to getting this car done. Now, I don't do this a lot, but if you guys like this video, it really took a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of planning to get all this stuff done. So click the like button if you liked it, and consider subscribing if these are the kinds of cars and projects you guys like to see. Now, I know that I have a P1 to build, and we have a lot of other projects to build, so stay tuned for those, because I am wrenching every day and my hands have never been more dirty. All right, see you guys later.